Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a Tuesday edition of Morning Scone presented by Brock, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic. Brock, Rock, and Wine presented by Audi of Baton Rouge. Coming up Saturday, that's Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, 4 days away. Get your tickets, brortho.com. Parish Construction and Roofing. Rain every day. If you have roof issues, give us a shout. Parishbuilt.com. Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, semaglutide, tirzepatide. Remember, if you've heard about the once-a-week injections for weight loss, if you want to learn more, Unique Physique, they are local in Baton Rouge, and if you want, you can go visit with them in person, or you could do the entire consult over telemed, over the phone. Easy. Uniquephysique.com. And Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Big shout out to Crystal Poche, as always. Do my cheeks look red? Went and worked out this morning. Over at Hotworks, got in this, I don't know if you know what Hotworks is. It's like you work out in a sauna. So did the Hotworks workout, then I did my cold plunge. But man, I look like really red. Do I look red? That's weird. Anyway, okay, what's up, everybody? Sorry, that was a little random. I was just looking at myself there in the screen and just looks a little weird, a little odd. Anyway, Saints have added wide receiver Kevin Austin here on the eve of camp. Saints report to camp today, Tuesday, and then they hit the practice field on Wednesday. So Kevin Austin is he's from New York, went to Notre Dame, 4 years there at Notre Dame. He had a redshirt year, and then in 2019, and then the COVID year in 2020, and then in 2021 started all 13 games. Had just under 900 receiving yards, 7 touchdowns. Went pro, went undrafted, spent a couple of years on the Jaguars practice squad, and then this spring was with the Birmingham Stallions in the UFL, and they won the UFL championship. And he's a pretty good receiver for them. So, look, a guy that in 2 years never played in an NFL game with the Jaguars. So just an off-season practice squad member. So it would stand to reason that he would have a long way to go to make the Saints roster. But I'll point out, man, the Saints are kind of in a little bit of a pickle at wide receiver, and this signing kind of illustrates it. You feel really good, obviously, about Chris Olave, and you extended Rashid Shaheed, so you like your first 2 guys. But after that, y'all, what really do you have? They drafted A.T. Perry in the 6th round last year, and I like A.T. Perry, and I think he's going to be a really good player. I think you stole him in round 6. But again, he's still got to prove it. You went and got Cedric Wilson out of free agency, spent 3 years in Dallas, last couple in Miami, but last year in Miami had 22 receptions. Just a very modest contributor. You signed, you drafted Bub Means out of Pitt. Got Stanley Morgan hanging around. You see my point now, Kevin Austin from the Stallions. You just don't have a lot there. So, there's it. Yeah, giant questions on your offensive line, as we know. You're replacing 3 starters. My feeling on the quarterback. Alvin Kamara is aging, approaching 30, coming off 3 consecutive years of declining production. You're not deep at receiver. Juwan Johnson injured, unavailable at tight end. We'll see if Foster Moreau, Taysom Hill in this offense with Clint Kubiak could play a bigger role, but a lot of ifs on the Saints team right now. Red? What's going on? Am I having a reaction? Does that look splotchy to you? Huh. This is the kind of stuff we can talk about here on Morning Scone because we're friends. My reddish cheeks. Am I having a reaction to something? I don't know. Maybe I should go pop some Benadryl or something. All right, let's say some good mornings. Brett, what up, my dude? Good to see you, man. Hope all's well. Cajun Country, morning. Watching film with Jonah Williams. He'll be an electric player. Hope he gets on campus. Yeah, today's Locked On LSU episode is basically all about Jonah Williams. Jonah Williams will be on campus this weekend for the Bayou Splash. He is the #1 safety in America. But wait, there's more. He's also an elite baseball prospect. And when I say elite baseball prospect, I had a scout tell me that he's a bigger Dion. Dynamic center fielder, elite speed, great arm, actually pitches as well as 94 from the left side as a rising senior. So he just finished his junior year of high school. He's already 94 from the left side. He's Connor Griffin. He's a top half of round one guy, except he has power from the left side. He's a top half of round one guy in baseball. Like if he was just a baseball prospect, we'd be talking about him the way we talk about Connor Griffin, but he's also the number one safety in America. So he'll be on LSU's campus this week. Weston Weaver, what's going on? Brian Wynn, Tiger Diver, Spurge, what up? Leon, can we just trade for Brandon Ayuk? I don't hate that idea. I think you have to ask yourself, well, obviously, what would you have to give up for Brandon Ayuk? Like, would a Brandon Ayuk for Marshawn Lattimore trade make sense? And the answer is maybe. I mean, you got Kool-Aid McKinstry, you got Paulson Adebo, you got Alontae Taylor. You don't have a great receiver. And, well, let me rephrase it. Obviously, yes, Chris Olave, I think, is a Pro Bowl caliber wide receiver. You don't have great receiving depth. So, yes, if I could trade Marshawn Lattimore for Brandon Ayuk, I would do that. Because I think you've invested plenty at the corner position. I don't think Lattimore is with the Saints next year anyway. And if you can fortify something on your offense, which you have questions literally at every level of your offense, yeah, I would do it. I would. Brian Penton, good morning from Charlotte, North Carolina. And by the way, just to add to that, I've not looked at Brandon Ayuk's contract. So I know we always talk about, you're not just trading for a player, you're trading for the contract. So let me look at Ayuk's contract. Oh, wow. So he signed a 4-year, $12.5 million deal with the Niners. Wow. Oh. 1, 2, 3, 4. So this is his 5th-year option with the Niners. Okay, so never forget that. That's his rookie deal that he signed. I thought Ayuk was on a second contract. So and they picked up his 5th-year option. Okay, so he's making $14 million this year, 14.1. Fine, that's easy. And then he's an unrestricted free agent after the season. So if the Niners have to ask themselves, hey, look, are you going to sign Ayuk to a long-term deal? And if not, after the season, if you're not going to extend him to a long-term deal, do you trade him now to get something for him? That's a fair question. And then if you're the Saints, do you trade for him, but then you have to pay him? So you have to decide, do you want to pay him? Or you trade it because you're not trading to be a 1-year mercenary. If that's the case, then just keep Marshawn Lattimore. Trivia, good morning. James McKinney. Jesse Brown, good morning, Matt. At this point, ESPN ranked the Saints so low. Yeah, so the ESPN did a feature where they looked at, they graded out roster talent, graded roster, quarterback, coach, and front office. Those 4 graded them out, and then gave each NFL team a rating and tried to project over the next 3 years. And they had the Saints 31st. Front office was dead last at 32nd. Coach was second to last at 31st. Quarterback was 28th. Y'all think I'm just a Derek Carr hater, but there's ESPN's metric rating Derek Carr the 28th best quarterback in the NFL. No, it's just me. I'm just a hater. Abner Neal, what's going on? Jason H., good morning, Uncle Scone. What up, man? Brent, good morning. MJC, 5135. It's just the Saints that causes the redness. It's called embarrassment. Hey, Wendell, good morning. Mark Bacon, good morning. Melody, good morning. Good to see you as always. Brett, if the Saints are mediocre this year, which I think they will be, is it time for them to blow it up and rebuild? Yes. It's been time for that, Brett. The unfortunate part is that so Mrs. Benson effectively has this front office in place with Mickey Loomis and Dennis Lauscha, and I mean, has them in the succession plan of the organization because she doesn't have heirs. So I don't think she's firing them. She should, but I don't think she is. I think you're more likely to get a new coach than you are a new GM in the front office. It's a weird situation because I don't know, aside from like the Cowboys, where Jera owns the team and is the GM. He's not going to fire himself. He's got his son there as well, kind of at his side. But I don't know that there's another situation in the NFL like that where a GM could be so bad as Mickey Loomis has been. And really have no questions about his job security. It's bizarre. Christian, good morning. Big recruiting week. Lots of big-time prospects coming to town. Yeah, so this weekend is the Bayou Splash, and it'll be a pretty significant weekend for LSU. Shay Dixon will be on AFR today, and we'll talk a little more detail about that, about the Bayou Splash and everybody that'll be here and how big of a weekend it is. But Jonah Williams is probably the biggest. Number one safety in America. Again, if you missed, if you want to check out today's Locked on LSU episode, the bulk of the episode is about Jonah Williams. So I go into a lot of detail about Jonah Williams and why that's significant both for football and for baseball. Specifically for football, though, I mean, LSU is looking to rebuild its secondary. You have to do it with elite players like DJ Pickett. Well, you get the number one corner in America. It would help if you got the number one safety in America as well, and Jonah Williams. I definitely have my cause for skepticism with two-sport guys, and especially ones that are going to be as highly drafted as Jonah Williams will be in baseball next year. So, I wonder, even if you get him on campus, do you have a Zach Lee situation? Like, let's say you get him on campus, he goes through spring, goes through fall ball, whatever, or goes through, is going through spring, and then you get to the summer and the draft rolls around and he's the 8th pick in the draft. I mean, gone. But I've just seen that enough, man. I've seen it enough to just be completely dismissive of the possibility. So, but it's one to sweat out, and that's a prospect, worth doing the dance with because he's that special. Hey, Rocky, good morning. I'm not optimistic on the Saints. If they have a bad year, at least they should result in a new coaching regime. I agree there. I mean, I obviously think that Dennis Allen should have already been gone. I think it's important in business and life that when you know something is wrong, you don't continue to double down. You cut bait and move on. You cut your losses and move on. You just continue to compound your issue when you know something isn't going to work, but you keep trying to force the issue. You're better off just cutting bait, licking your wounds, and moving on to next. That's where you are with Dennis Allen. Like, Dennis Allen is a failed head coach. He's never going to be he's a great defensive coordinator. He's never going to be a successful head coach. So, like, the more you continue on with this charade, the deeper you dig this hole, the further you move from relevancy. So, yeah, I mean, of course, I think they should move on from Dennis Allen. I think they should have done it last year. I think they should have moved on from Derek Carr. So, anyway. I mean, the only potential saving grace for this team is if Spencer Rattler or Jake Haener becomes a star quarterback. And then you can sort of reset your organization because you'll have your starting quarterback on a day 3 rookie contract. I mean, that's what Seattle did with Russell Wilson. That's what San Francisco is able to do right now with Brock Purdy. So we'll see. Mark, imagine being recruited by Jay Johnson, Corey Raymond, and Frank Wilson. Yeah, that would be impactful. All those dudes are just phenomenal at what they do, man. And Jay was the first baseball coach on on Jonah Williams. So he's been recruiting him the longest. That's a distinct advantage that LSU's got to have in that situation. Hey, Charlie, good morning. Darren Reeves, morning, Matt. Can athletes be insured for projected earnings in their professional draft or slot value and come to college, not worry about possible injuries, wrecking their financial future? Hang on 1 second. I forgot to share the Facebook post. Let me do this real quick. I'll come back and answer your question. My apologies. If this loads, which it's not wanting to cooperate. There we go. I think, Darren, there we go. So, Darren, it's a good question. Essentially, like you hear about athletes having injury policies, right? So if you're maybe a projected first round pick in the NFL, you take out an injury policy, an insurance policy against injury. So if you get injured, you can recover some of those damages. I don't know that I've ever heard about that in baseball, because I don't know what you could recover it against. If you're talking about an injury, then sure, you could do that. I'm sure you could find someone, a company that would insure you for that against an injury, but not just for poor performance. For example, like Cam Johnson passed on, whatever he passed on, 2.5, whatever it was, to come to LSU. He's now transferred. He's at Oklahoma. May never recoup that money. Well, it's not going to be due to injury. It would be due to poor performance. So you're obviously not going to collect on that, if that makes sense. I don't know if that's exactly what you're asking. A little bit of a slow morning, man. Hope y'all are okay. Hunter Broadhead, good morning. Weston, with an athlete like that, would Williams get a bigger NIL deal because he's a two-sport athlete? I guess in theory you could, but he did tweet that he can't be bought. Hang on, I'll read the tweet exactly for you. I'm trying to find it. Sorry. Yeah, I can't find it. Sorry. I was trying to find the exact tweet for you. It was something to the effect of like, I can't be bought, or money won't be, the deciding factor. But he keeps I'm trying to find, sorry, y'all. I'm trying to find the exact tweet. But anyway, Jonah Williams is visiting Texas this week, and he's leaving Texas and coming to Baton Rouge. Sorry, y'all. I don't mean to slow down your day. Anyway, I was trying to read the exact tweet for it. He did put unlimited NIL, back on July 17th, when he quote tweeted Hayes Fawcett when DJ Pickett committed with the big open eye emojis. Oh, here you go. Here it is, July 16th. I cannot be bought. Money is not the reason I commit somewhere. There you go. His words. So the biggest NIL that someone could offer would obviously be Oregon, if whatever Phil Knight wanted to offer. But apparently that's not going to be the thing. Gunner, when I was young, I remember being 11 during the Honey Badger stuff going on, thinking, wow, he knows better. Now I realize all these guys are just dumb kids and get in trouble like dumb kids do. They're not all dumb kids, but yes, they're young people that sometimes, I guess you're talking about Javen Toviano. And yes, Toviano should know better. And being young and dumb isn't a defense or an excuse. we all have to mature in life, obviously. Um, it's interesting because my buddy who's like, best man at my wedding, all that stuff. When we were in high school, our senior year, he carried a video camera everywhere. It's funny now because we all have phones, we can record everything. But like he documented our whole senior year. Like he had a camcorder and videoed everything, football games, dances, parties, videoed everything. And the idea was that our 10-year anniversary, he was going to turn it into a documentary. We'd all watch it. Well, time went by. It was kind of like almost like Guns N' Roses with Chinese Democracy, where you'd make it, you'd announce a release date, you'd scrap it, you'd start over. Anyway, so he's actually now finished it, and so next year is our 25th anniversary, 25th anniversary reunion, and it's done. And so he's like planning this whole big elaborate, like he's going to rent out a theater and we're going to watch. Anyway, all that to say, when I've talked to him about it, he's like, man, we were so stupid. Like the immaturity, how like just awful we were to each other, just the insults and everything you do when you're a kid. It's funny to be, 42, looking at yourself at 18 or 17 through the eyes of a 42-year-old, right? Like I wonder how many people could actually do that. Like, I mean, he documented everything. So we're going to go back and like watch our lives from our senior year of high school, which is wild, but, and very cool that he had the foresight to do that a quarter century ago. But, anyway, I'm rambling, Gunnar, but all that to say, yes, we all have to mature, and we all mature at a different rate in different paths, and at different points in our life, we all do dumb things. And there's the old saying, but by the grace of God, there go I. And it's true. Like, I mean, just think about awful things you see on the news. I think about some of the stupid things that we've done and live to tell about, Anyway. All right, a little quiet morning, man. I don't know where everybody is. Joel, Matt, don't the boosters effectively pay most coaching salaries and buyouts? So, yes, actually, Joel. So, when you look at a coach's contract, the athletic department pays a portion of it. And then fundraising arms would pay a bulk of the contract. So, like, for example, I need to go pull up the let's see. I don't know that you actually care deeply about this, but like Brian Kelly's, like, just say hypothetically, his salary at LSU, salaries and wages. Okay. So last year, football salaries and wages were $25 million. I'm trying to see how much of that those paid. Doggone it. I'm trying to see how much of that is paid through LSU's athletic revenue of the athletic department, how much is paid through TAF. But yes, you are correct. Yes. I would need to get the budget, and I'm trying to find it quickly here, and I don't see the line item. But yes, like, suffice to say, I think Brian Kelly through LSU get, like, let's say like athletics pays him like $300K, right? And the rest, the balance, comes from TAF. Okay, where are we? Club Ruckus, good morning. Working out, listen live from Chime Street. Okay, what are you doing on Chime Street? Like, are you like running on Chime Street, or is there like a workout facility on Chime Street? Thomas Primo, good morning. Rex, good morning. Brett, any news on Jakeem Stewart reclassifying? Not that I've heard, man. I know that's been out there a little bit, and but I can ask Shay about that when he's on today. Brett, if you remind me for the show today, I'll ask Shay. I'll bump that to him. Not that I've heard lately. So anyway, all right, slow day, man. I don't know where everybody is, but we'll just wrap it up then. Appreciate y'all for being here as always. Remember, Brock, Rock, and Wine coming up on Saturday at Tiger Stadium. Y'all coming? I hope somebody's coming, man. I hope everybody's coming, as a matter of fact. Should be a great event. Tickets at brortho.com. All the money raised goes to the Brock Foundation. Be a really, really fun night. And, I mean, you get to go hang out in the South Stadium Club at Tiger Stadium, which that in and of itself is worth it. I mean, you go up the elevators at South Stadium Club. You're overlooking, one side, you're looking at the river. The other side, you're like looking at campus. Well, obviously you can see the stadium. You're overlooking Tiger Stadium. You can see the Capitol, the bridge, all that stuff. The other side, you're looking at the campus. Just gorgeous, man. It's a great spot up there, and live music, food, wine. Going to be a great night. Really looking forward to it. So, anyway, Club Ruckus working, trimming out some condos. Got it. I saw working out. My bad. That's what I get for reading the comment too fast. Working and listening live from Chime Street. Got you, dude. Thank you. And y'all, Parish Construction Roofing. Hey, I'll keep mentioning it. I'll pin it in the chat there. But we do at Parish have our new maintenance program. $25 a month, completely worth it. Gets you 2 inspections with a year with drone technology, photos, all that stuff, which helps tremendously. If you ever do have to file an insurance claim, you'll have documented proof of your You all right? Okay. Anyway, parishbuilt.com. Oh, look, we got another one. Joel, in before the gun. Do you think NIL will cut down on analysts? It was said LSU had double-digit analysts at one time. You'd think they'd want to allocate that money to getting better players now. I think it's important to remember, Joel, it's not coming from the same pot. So no. I know that's one of the biggest misconceptions is who pays for what, where does the money come from, all that stuff. Did I miss a button here? Anyway. So, but no, analysts that would be paid in the athletics, out of the athletics budget. NIL is not paid from the athletics department budget. NIL is paid, to the collective, and that's all privately raised money. So not the same. Brett, what's the text line again? 225-396-4400, 396-4400, 396-4400, 225-396-4400. Boom. There you go. Text line, 225-396-4400, 396-4400. Text me. Okay, y'all. I guess we'll wrap it up. Locked on LSU is live. Check it out however you get podcasts, and on YouTube and AFR3. Y'all have a great day.